Hello, welcome back to the channel, doing a talking video, quite a serious one I suppose in the grand scheme of things. I'm a very dramatic person, hence the hand movement. And about a year ago on this channel I put something, and I'm doing this video completely unedited because Jamie, my editor's on holiday somewhere. A, because he bloody deserves it, and B, because I think if I demand any more out of him, he's probably going to implode, bless him. So this is going to just completely go up nice and raw. What was I saying? So, yeah, about a year ago, I put a video on this channel called 24 Months Remain, or something like that. And that's now approaching 11, 10, 9 months. And I'm going to make a decision on if I want to continue doing YouTube or not in totality. Not that everything needs a totality, but I think it would be quite disingenuous for me to phone this in all the time and not enjoy it to the people that do actually tune into this and enjoy it and make it part of their routine. And I can't thank you all enough. And I've probably at this point done about 20 videos on this channel called Thank You. And I literally can't say it enough, but I don't want it to become like this beg, like, oh, thanks everyone, I owe you everything. Because at the absolute forefront of all of this, as you've probably figured out by now, a lot of this is actually run on my own drive and my own enthusiasm and my own ambition to actually want to make this successful. But what's now happened in my current frame of mind, I find living alone really helps this. Like, I don't know if help's the right word, but it stimulates my self-reflection and overthinking and deep thought and inner monologue. And some days I get to work and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't actually spoken to anyone in like 8 hours, like out loud to a human being. I've obviously texted people and sent voice notes and shit, but yeah, so I've got 3 options in this world. This world, by the way, isn't a source of income for me. This is just a laugh. So that kind of ties me quite nicely into the fact that I can't stop yawning to save my own life. Okay, so I've got 3 options, like I've just mentioned. The first option is actually something that recently came up on a podcast with a guy called Cayman, who's a self-employed leaflet owner, distributor, company person that runs a franchise and now a window cleaner. And he's very, very young and passionate and ambitious and wants to see people succeed around him and has a real go-getter kind of attitude. That episode will probably be up in a couple of weeks, so please watch that. There'll probably be a clip out of that where he's like, why are you doing this podcast? And I'm like, oh shit, it's job interview time. So, first option is I can push this to the point that I'm probably going to burn out. I'm probably not going to go out for a drink with people in the evenings when I finish work. I'm probably not going to have much of a social life, but my God, I could record probably 8 podcasts a week if I really wanted to. But then you run the risk of not actually enjoying the ride, and the process for me is what I enjoy more than anything. So I could kick the arse out of it and go full guns, all guns blazing, whatever the expression is, full bore. And I could upload 600 podcasts a year. I think there's advantages to that. But at my current level on YouTube, there's definitely a supply and demand principle going on, that I've got all of the supply right now. I don't know how much demand I've got. And typically what happens, sorry, I sounded like a fucking ogre then. Typically what happens is if you flood your audience, they almost reject all of it because they can't ever feel like they're going to catch up. So I personally don't think that's a good idea, and obviously I also run the risk of my actual mental health and just being like, go, 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 go. I don't think my default state is go, 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 go. It's actually, let's take a breath. Let's enjoy life. You know, let's get the hard stuff done first in the day. Then we can enjoy the fruits of the labour. You know, when the plants start growing, we can actually take a breath. My second option is kind of similar to that, which is enjoy the ride. Just do it because it's fun. Do it as a hobby. You know, if you blow up, you blow up. I don't think a podcast really nowadays in 2026. I don't know if there's a potential to blow up. I heard on Joe Rogan recently that they've ran some sort of Perplexity prompt, and podcasting in 2006, in America at least, there was about 90,000 podcasts in America. There's now 3 million of them. But the actual metrics of that probably are a bit skewed, because what Perplexity says is an active podcast is literally someone's created a Spotify account and uploaded one podcast to that channel. So, you know, you could upload one podcast and then leave it for 4 years, and then that's an active podcast. By the way, this Red Bull Cherry Sakura, fuck me up. It's so nice. That's probably why I'm yawning a lot. My other option, which is number 3, is to just call it a day and quit. Which sometimes feels quite appealing. And I could get out of the game now whilst the bets are low and the stakes are low. Chips down, get out the fucking casino. And I could actually, you know, fill my life up with things that aren't just creating content and booking podcasts and scheduling guests and coming up with good questions for guests and social mediaing myself into absolute oblivion. So we kind of got 3 options, 3 roads to go down really. We've got absolutely redline the fuck out of this, 120 miles an hour down the motorway. Take your time with the journey and actually enjoy it. You know, drive down the motorway at a normal speed. Or get out. Because everyone now seems to have this mindset, myself included, where people go, oh, you run a podcast? And I go, yeah, I run a podcast. And they go, do you make money out of it? And then the conversation can literally split into 2, which is, oh, well, if you're not making money, then don't worry about it. Or, oh my God, you're making money doing something on the internet. I really have thought about this a lot. And I think I'm just going to do it for a laugh. This whole channel, you know, I don't earn any money from doing this. I really can't explain that enough to people. I do get occasional residual income from the sponsors of this show, which is Supreme CBD and Vocal Zone. But literally, unless someone goes to their website and buys something with my code, I don't just get money from these sponsors. You know, I don't just get 5% of everything they sell. I don't know, I feel like I've done really well for the last 6 years up until this point of majority, I don't know if that's a word, for the majority of the time I've done this completely by myself and with an editor for the most part, to be fair. But I've been messed about so much. I've been cancelled on so much. I've been told to put this video private, and I've fallen out with people in my actual life that I probably didn't really have much respect for anyway, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, you know, some people I've spoken to on the podcast and they've vanished afterwards, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. Bearing in mind I'm literally promoting them for an hour straight, but maybe those people are just acquaintances anyway, they're not friends, you know. I don't know, there's a lot of genuine positives to doing this. I'd say 60% of this is really fun. But sometimes that 40% feels like 60% and beyond, you know? But I'm not going to run out of guests anytime soon. I'm going to keep doing this. I've just come off the back of doing 3 podcasts in 1 week. One of them was with a band called Sad Cult, who me and Casper actually did the podcast with in this room. And they're on Zoom. So that's quite fun when you include other people, you know? But I think I've already answered my own question with this. That I'm just going to do this when I enjoy doing it. And if people want to rush me and say, oh, mate, we need to get this guy on, that's entirely my decision if I want to do that or not, you know. I don't like being rushed about. I don't like being told to hurry up. I like to go at my own speed. And I want this to be good. Like, I want the quality of this to be good. I don't want it to be, oh, I've made a mistake because I've been rushing around like a blue-ass fly and pulled pillar to post and guests trying to move the episodes forward and, you know, going through 700 different people, agencies, publicists. I can't be asked for any of that. I have tried, but it's just too much justification and, oh, you've only got 300 subs. Come back when you've got 50,000. But how am I supposed to get 50,000 if I can't? You know, I need people that are up and coming and prevalent. And, you know, I spoke to a comedian recently, actually. I think he's called Ali Coots or Ali Cots. I think that's right. And he's got like 700,000 Instagram followers. And he's like, I'll reach out when I want to do a podcast with you. I'm just like, yeah, all right. Heard that before, you know, but maybe he will. Maybe he will reach out. I shouldn't be so pessimistic and so cynical all the time, but I'm just going off of what has either happened previously to me or what I think is going to happen very soon in the present. But I think I'm just going to keep doing this as long as I enjoy doing it. And I think something else just to end this video on, because otherwise this video is going to be like 4 hours long. I think people on YouTube that watch this channel can tell when I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And that means quite a lot to me, that people are excited to see me excited. Because I think that's when content creators and influencers, whatever that means, that's when people get into a flow state. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you cannot force that flow state. You know, you'll watch someone else's YouTube video and you'll be like, fuck, that's such a good idea. Oh my God, like, you know, But sometimes you'll watch 7 YouTube videos back to back and you'll be like, yeah, that was cool. I'm glad that that exists. And they're obviously telling their own story in their own voice. But yeah, I'm just going to keep doing this for as long as I can without, yeah, I hope that will make sense. I appreciate that it might be a bit vague, but yeah. One thing that I do want to do a bit more on the channel, if I do continue doing it, is recently, as you've probably seen, if you are a loyal fan, I've really gotten into clothing lately. And I really like Lone Culprit and Childish. And I think there's something there about potentially doing some clothing myself. But I don't want to be one of these people that's got like 700 t-shirts like in their spare room. Like, once again, we're coming back to the supply and demand principle of like, if I make merch, will you guys want the merch? If I'm also going to stop doing this in a year, is there any point in doing merch? And, sometimes the snake feeds itself, and I can't start recording a video saying that I'm going to take my foot off the gas and then expect people to actually start buying things from me, But yeah, I feel like I'm in a bit of a weird headspace at the moment, and also something else to consider, and I will end this video soon, I'm so sorry. To record a podcast in person nowadays in an actual studio, which is obviously the dog's bollocks in recording quality and stuff, now cost me between £45 and £65 an hour. I've got bills to pay, I've got rent to pay, I've got garage bills coming up with my car to pay. I literally cannot afford to do that sort of stuff at the moment. So if you are one of these people that just watches the in-studio interviews that I do, that's fine. But I reckon maybe mid-2027 I'll do another one. So I've just got to be realistic with what I can actually spend on this at absolutely no return. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's where I am at the moment. So appreciate you all for watching. And if you have watched until 18 minutes, you're mental. But yeah, I appreciate you all. And I do like doing these videos of just talking and voicing things out and, getting it off my chest. But my mental health has to come first with YouTube and content creation and podcasts and interviews and stuff. That's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. As always, I will be doing a video on this guy soon, the bee. He's going to get a name. I've been saying that since about February, but that doesn't matter. So thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Keep bedlam. Bye-bye.